Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, live and in living color, and being joined with us right now. Let's get right to it. Is the one and only Mr. Bill Haney. Bill, how's it going?
Hey, Marcos, man, shout out to Fight Hub TV. And, we going to cover everything, Marcos. I'm so glad to be on the platform with you. But it seems like I might be underwater.
No, I hope not. You can hear me, right?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me go out and come right back, bro. Right back.
Okay. Technical difficulties on Bill's part. Oh no. Okay, Bill's fixing his internet. We're gonna get him right back. Shoot. Okay, guys. This is the last live of 2024. I reached out to Bill to get him here live on the channel to just talk about some things that have been happening, but also get some info on the return of Devin. Seeing this more or less as a recap show of the year as well before we go into 2025. We had a lot of good stuff drop over the weekend as well. So after this live, when we get Bill back on with us, he was having a little bit of internet issues. His connectivity was a little bit off. So I think he's switching phones right now to get on another phone that's on the Wi-Fi. But he will be back in with us right now. So apologies over that. That kind of happens with technology and everything. I can't wait till everything is like Starlink, like satellite based in terms of internet. It'll make all this a lot easier and more reliable. But with that being said, man, what a year 2024 was in boxing. A lot of boxing happening overseas. Hopefully, that more boxing returns over to the U.S. And I believe Bill has joined us back on right now. All right, Bill, is that better?
Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Okay. 1 second. Let me see. Hold on.
It's a lot clearer now.
Let me see if you unplug it in the bedroom with that hinge.
Not sure. I think it froze up on him again. Okay. More issues on that end with the phone. I think, Bill, you got to connect to your Wi-Fi and be in an area that has strong Wi-Fi, or you got to go on your data in an area that the data works a little bit better. All right, so let's go ahead and let me send Bill a message. We're going to get this right, guys. Don't worry. Let me send him a message just to tell him, make sure you're on the Wi-Fi. On the Wi-Fi. I think your phone. Okay, so we're working on that. We'll get him back on. But in the meantime, if you guys want to go ahead and leave your comments or questions for Bill, we'll go ahead and read some of them live. And then if there's also any other things that you guys want to go ahead and touch on while we go ahead and get Bill on here, let me go through some of the comments, some of the chat. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me know what your guys' New Year's resolutions are, some of your New Year's goals are. For 2025. It's crazy, man. Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, New Year's Eve. Dang, it came by quick. I was gone for 17 days of December. Traveled a lot. Went to the fight in Saudi Arabia between Usyk and Tyson Fury. Was in Germany for the WBC convention. So yeah, traveled quite a bit. Kind of was sad about missing a lot of Christmas, to be honest. I pretty much missed all of Christmas. I got back from Saudi on the 23rd, that Monday, jet lag like a mofo, guys. Oh man, I was jet lagged for like a week. And it took me a while to acclimate. And I think we have Bill back on. Bill, is it working now? Yeah, is it working, Bill? Can you hear me?
Let's see.
Oh no, I don't
Uh,
think his audio is working. You can hear me, right, Bill?
hey, bring me that little thing, that little piece. No, the thing that the phone goes on.
Hey, Bill, you can hear me, right?
Hold on.
Okay. Let's see here. Edit mic settings. Echo cancellation. Okay. Bill, you can
All
hear
right,
me.
so that's, hey, now I can hear
Okay.
you.
Yes. We got it working. Oh man. Okay, here we go. Live and in living color. One and only
Hey,
Bill Haney joining us live. Marcos Villegas, Fight Up TV. Bill, let's get right into it, man. The whole world wants to know if you have any news, any updates on Devin returning for 2025. What can you let us know?
well, I know this. I know that boxing in 2023 has been filled with a whole lot of drama, a whole lot of anticipation, and we can expect for another 2024 of boxing excitement. I'm looking forward to Devin getting back in the ring. Of course, it's been probably the longest layoff we've had right now.
Mhm.
And we're anxious. We're anxious to get back in there. He's been hitting the pads. He's been doing a lot of his running. We're going to start doing some sparring this week, and you can expect for announcement soon.
Do you guys have a time frame? Like, do you have like by this time or this date, this month, Devin will have returned and had a fight in?
Well, I mean, I think that everything that he had done thus far. You know what I mean? And it's in a young age of 26, 31 fights. He had 138 amateur fights. His body needed a well-deserved rest. And, I was happy he said that he was going to take a year off. It's approaching that year. So let's look forward to it.
Okay. Given that, how have you like how's Devin doing? I know this year wasn't an ideal year for you guys. A lot happened, but how is Devin mentally coming
Check
into
to see
this new
did he
year?
what's the name? Did he knock it out again? Hold on one second, Marcos.
Okay.
1 second.
Yeah. We also got a question for you, Bill. Someone sent in a question for you. Let's get to it. Hunter on the Hunt wants to ask you, Bill, why not have Devin get Teo and make him eat them words? Huge fight, in my opinion.
Hold on 1 second.
Having audio issues again, Bill? You can hear me? Okay, I think you can hear me clearly
Okay,
now,
now
right?
can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Oh, I
You
can.
can hear me, right?
Well, I can't really. No, I can't really hear you. At first it was good, but then it went
Yeah.
back out.
Okay. I think it's a little bit of delay, but you can hear me now, right?
Mm-mm. Hold on one
No.
second. Let me go out. Hold on.
Okay. Shoot. All right. Hey guys, we're gonna get to your super chats and your questions. Having connectivity issues there with Bill, so I apologize for that. Out of my control, to be honest. But we'll work on getting him back. Hold on 1 second. Let me keep sending your guys' questions. Keep sending your guys' um, comments so we can go and continue speaking to Bill. Let me see something. It might be a option that I set on here to record that might be lagging everything up. But I apologize, guys. Go ahead and take the poll as we manage the issues that we have in from from Bill right now. But like I was saying, 2025 hopefully is a interesting and a lot better year for boxing in terms of, I think fans here in the US, we want more fights in the US. A lot of these fights have gone international, have gone to Riyadh, have gone to London and other places. And that's, boxing is a world sport. And I think for the world fan base, that's good. Obviously there's economics involved in the issue as well. Boxing is a prize fighting sport, and these fighters are fighting for the biggest monetary prize there is. Their MO is to have fights that make them the most amount of money, because you never know, anything can happen in the ring. They can get an injury, and that can be the last fight. So I think that, that's why there's a financial incentive there in this sport to seek the biggest fights possible. Side note, I want to say a big thank you to our fans too. All you guys watching, our subscribers that have rocked with us for the longest time, hitting that 2 million sub milestone that we hit this year. Biggest independent media channel for boxing in the world. Run it back with the you're terrible, bro. Terrible. We hit 2 million subs while we wait for Bill to get back on here with us. So let me text him again and see what's happening. He was in, he was out, he was in, and he was out. So let's go ahead and see if I can get to the bottom of this Wi-Fi issue. Hey, Bill, is everything good? I hope it shouldn't be my Wi-Fi, because I'm hooked up to a landline here. Right? Yeah, we're hooked to a landline. Yeah, we're hooked to a landline. All right, keep the comments and the questions coming along as we wait for Bill to get back in on here. Bill just messaged me. He said Bill told me to give him 5 minutes. All right, so Bill will be joining us again in 5 minutes. He's not sure if he's resetting his router or resetting his phone. But all right, go and bring some questions, some comments. We can read them. We can talk about it while we wait for Bill to jump on here. Make sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you're watching us and not subscribe. Let's try to hit another milestone. I know YouTube's so weird, man. So YouTube's milestones, so they give you the silver plaque, which is right there at 100,000 subs, and then you have to get 1 million subs to get the gold one. And then they have something called a diamond plaque, and that diamond plaque is for 10 million subs, which is a freaking insane amount of subs. Like guys like Mr. Beast, what is that? Ryan Trahan, like what I consider like the YouTubers, the heavy hitters of YouTube, have that diamond plaque. But hey, man, let's try to get as close as possible to that. If anything, thank you guys for rocking with us and continuing to grow this community as well, and just keep spreading the word of Fight Hub. Really appreciate it as well, so we can keep being able to bring you guys things like this in interviews with the other fighters, and able to get you this type of content and access as well. So with that being said, man, I'm going to go ahead and read through some of the comments that you guys have. Tips in, I'm actually watching the Android interview on my work desktop. Yeah, that's a good chat that we had with Demetrius Andrade yesterday. We dropped it. Spoke to him in depth about a lot of things that's been happening with him. He's looking for a big 2025 return, but he opened up as well on some of the things that were happening in the background prior to his fight with David Benavidez, stating that his mother was in the hospital. His brother was in the hospital. His mother, shortly after the Benavidez fight, I believe, passed away. And it just wasn't a good year for him. How he felt like at times pulling out of the Benavidez fight. He had told us that it's not excuses, but he just wanted to let people know like the stuff that was happening in the background. in that fight with Benavidez, and him stating like, "Hey, man, like Benavidez, like he knows why like Canelo doesn't want to fight Benavidez, and he doesn't think that Canelo would beat David Benavidez, and he favors David Benavidez to beat David Morell coming up." Which, dude, so they had that Miami press conference. I didn't even know it was a press conference. We sent our Matt Tucker over there to cover the event where David pushed David Morell. Did you guys see that by chance? That video of the push? I thought it was one. I don't know, like. I feel like with past David fights, like he has amped himself up, and there's been like this bad blood there that he's been getting with the opponents. But like it seems very out of character for David Morell, who always has come off as a cool, calm, collected type of person to me. So I'm wondering like where this intensity, this animosity is coming from on David Morell's part. Thank you guys for the super chats. We'll go ahead and get to them as well as we're awaiting Bill. He said he's back on the way in here. But it's a good point, Valiant. When David started bringing up the VADA stuff, that's when Morell and his team really got fired up. Thing that kind of cracked me up about the whole situation was when David Morell straight up threw the WBA belt at David, and David moved out of the way. It like we tried to get a meme going with our guy Jay Cruz. I told him, yo, that part where David ducked after Morell threw the belt, it reminded me when George W. Bush had that shoe thrown at him by the reporter. I don't know, was it if he was in Iraq or something like that, So that to me was hilarious when that happened. But yeah, that's an interesting fight. That's an interesting fight, man. That is a very interesting fight between Benavidez and Morell. Andrade and David's dad brought up 2 points, and I know they haven't talked, but there's both have said that they feel David's experience is going to make the difference in that fight. That big fight experience and the opponents that he's had at this point. David is starting to make a really good resume with these fights now. He went and fought Andrade, beat Andrade. He went and fought Caleb Plant, beat Caleb Plant. Now, to me, David Morell, if he goes and he gets a win against David Morell, a guy that really nobody is calling for a fight for, given he's really, really good. That's the most important thing. People will say like, hey, it's because he doesn't sell. Yeah, that is true. But like the main reason why David Morell hasn't gotten some of these fights is because the kid is so damn good, so talented. It's a risky fight. All right, let's go ahead and connect with Bill once more. All right, Bill, is it working?
It's working.
Oh God. Okay. All right. So I mentioned, when is Devin coming back? You had said that Devin wanted to take a year off from boxing, that he's back in the gym, he's hitting mitts, he's training. Is there any offers on the table, Bill? Is there any fights that you guys are close to working on for his return?
Well, I mean, Devin is one of the superstars in boxing. He's the youngest undisputed champion, and also he's the youngest boss in the business. So the opportunities are around the corner. You know what I mean? And, as we take a look at everything, of course, it all has to make, it has to get Devin up. It has to make sense, and also has to fit where we are, right now in his career.
So when you say it has to make sense, does that mean financially, or does that mean the name level of the opponent, or both?
Well, it's always a combination of that. Like I said, this has been the longest layoff that he's had, and
we got you. All right, we got. I think you might have gotten a call there, Bill. Dang it. All right, I apologize, guys. Let me tell him to put his phone on do not disturb. All right. So we're working through this. We're working through this. We'll make this work. We'll eventually land on it being good. So apologies on that, guys. It happens sometimes with internet and data coverage and all that. So we'll get back to Bill. He's been popping in and out, in and out, in and out. So apologies. We'll get it working. It will work. He's back on. All right,
So I put the do
Bill.
not.
Okay,
I put the do not disturb on.
perfect, perfect.
Someone
So
is
you don't get
calling and
calls.
it
So it
looks like
doesn't. Yeah, because when you get a call,
it
it'll
disrupts it.
stop. Yeah, yeah. All right. You said it's a combination of both financial and name wise for opponents coming in. But what I want to know, like, how is Devin? How is Devin doing after like this whole year, after everything that's happened?
He's doing good. You know what I mean? Everything that happens, of course, at the end of the fight, he said that God is the perfect planner, and true he is. That couldn't be a more true statement. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. He's been blessed. He's been blessed to be the youngest undisputed champion in boxing, and also be a promoter. A lot of things that we've done have been what I can say for the betterment of boxing, for those that are coming behind Devin, to not have to go through what he's went through with the Ryan Garcia fiasco, at least if they go through it, all the fighters should know that there's going to be consequences and ramifications.
Mm. All right, we'll touch on all that in a little bit, but in terms of Devin, um, in this year and his return, like you as now as like in his corner in the trainer uh, mindset, like have you noticed anything different? Like, or is there questions that you have of your son coming into this next year in terms of a fight?
No, not at all. Not at all. I haven't noticed anything. One thing that I'm very proud about is that we got a chance to see is that Devin is a true warrior. You know what I mean? It showed. He got knocked down 3 times. He got up 4, and and like I said, the show must go on.
All right. So at this point, Bill, are you guys actively like working on any? Like, who are you like looking at like for an opponent? Like, do you want to give Devin like a tune-up, or do you
Well,
want to go right into like the big fights?
Well, I look at everything. I look at the complete landscape, and ultimately, as we start sparring, we start getting ready. Then I'll start to negotiate. But right now, anybody can get it. Devin is has the best one of the best skill sets in the world. I mean, and we believe in him. So there's no one that he can't fight. It's just a matter about what's going to be next in his court or his course or his pursuit to be on the Mount Rushmore of boxing.
Is there any changes going to be made at all? Adjustments coming into this year in terms of the corner, or maybe even things you guys want to work on?
Well, we brought in Nate Jones. You know what I mean? I think that everyone has seen that on social media. Nate Jones, a legendary trainer and part of the Floyd Mayweather team. You know what I mean? He's spent a lot of time with Devin as a young fighter. So we just think that he was a great addition.
What was the reasoning behind that addition? What you guys feel that Nate could bring to the table?
We just want to tighten up on our defense. We want to be more defensive conscious. I think that Devin answered was answering and into pleasing the fans with the last fight and the last style that he showed. Like I said, he showed tremendous heart. He stepped to Ryan Garcia, who is a puncher, a fast, quick puncher. And he got hit with a left hook on numerous times. So I think we've shown what we're working on, and to eliminate any of those holes and or chinks in the armor, and just move forward.
Yeah, that's one thing I feel that a lot of people have mentioned. Like, hey, if there is ever a potential rematch between Devin and Ryan, that's the one thing that needs to be implemented is blocking that Ryan left hook. I would imagine you guys are aware and cognizant of that now, and that's something that you guys want to tighten up, right?
Well, yeah, we factored it in, but you cannot factor in, the Ostarine.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You couldn't factor in how strong he would be, and how fast he would recover. You know what I mean? That's just something that we didn't factor in. I thought that it would be mano y mano. You know what I mean? Man against man on the level on an even playing field, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? And now we have to move on.
So Ryan has contended that this wasn't on purpose, that the Austrian wasn't in any way for a performance advantage. It was to cut weight. Many people felt that that was the reason. But do you believe Ryan when he says all what he said about
Well,
the Austrian?
Ostarine is a banned substance. It is a PED, and whatever reason that he used it, we know that Ostarine helps with speed. It helps with recovery, and even more detrimental to an opponent is that it helps with power, and he has power. So to enhance the power and to use Ostarine, he definitely had an advantage. It's something that he pled guilty to the New York State Athletic Commission, and Golden Boy Promotions was awarded $1 million for it.
Hmm. You guys are still going through with the lawsuit, correct?
Oh, absolutely,
So,
absolutely. And to
yeah.
make no mistake about it is, it sets a precedent, not just for Devin and like I said, the fighters of today, but it will set a precedent for the fighters of tomorrow, the champions that are clean, the fighters that are clean. That there will be ramifications and consequences behind anyone that's using PEDs in any form.
Mm. Yeah, because we've heard fighters speak out about that. We've heard Oscar speak out about that. Oscar saying like, "Hey, boxers batter each other, they assault each other in the ring. Like, how could you be suing for this? Like, what would you say in response to that? To people saying, "Hey, like, how can you sue over a boxing match? That this is what you guys do."
Oscar's running out of shit to say. He's running out of things to do. The promoter of yesteryear is about gone. You know what I mean? The promoter that can create all the narratives and the spin doctor that he is. Of course, you know that battering a fighter is part of the game, but never is battering a fighter and using drugs. But you know what I mean, Oscar. You know what I mean. He's used drugs in the past, whether they've been recreational or any other sort. I know him to use recreational drugs, so maybe he's just pro drug use. But drugs are not. There's no place for drugs in boxing, and what I mean, we're standing on that.
So how does it? I don't know. Does that get in the way? That lawsuit get in the way of the rematch for you guys?
Well, I mean, like I said, is that Devin is a champion. Ryan Garcia is not. You know what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya hasn't been able to, with all his rhetoric and all that, is to make a champion out of Ryan Garcia, not as a pro. I think that his dad, Ryan Garcia's dad, has taken pride that he was a 12-time national amateur champion, but he hasn't been able to become a pro. And if you're talking about legacy and you're talking about making history. Devin has done that. He's proven that, and he's a future Hall of Famer. So you know what I mean. We've all made money in the sport, but I mean to do it the right way with 20 years of working. You know what I mean. You don't get to the biggest fight, the fight to become a world champion, and then use drugs such as Ostarine, and then say that you weren't scared, you weren't intimidated. Um, very much so, you were. You know what I mean? Going into it. And it showed.
Personally, on a personal level, for you guys, do you want to go through with the rematch because of what happened and what is happening with the lawsuit?
Oh, yeah. Devin wants to fight everybody, anybody that the people want to see, more importantly, but he wants it to be on a level playing field. He's not using drugs, and he doesn't expect anyone else to use drugs. And that comes down to him as a fighter concentrating on fighting, concentrating on being prepared. But then, from a management standpoint, right, and from a company standpoint, I have to take the blame. I failed in that part of it. That falls on me because I'm supposed to make sure that that he's straight, that the other fighter isn't on drugs. We weren't able to detect the drugs because obviously, you're able to stay hydrated and mask the drugs until the very last minute. As he cut the weight, as the water went, the drugs were detected in his fat tissue.
Because I know it's like in terms of like the one fight that comes up to me where like I was told like, hey, he doesn't want to do the rematch because of what happened, because of the personal animosity between the two, was Cotto and Margarito. And I've been told for the longest time Cotto had like a vendetta against Margarito because of what happened, and he didn't really want to give him the rematch until it just made so much overwhelming financial sense that he went ahead and did it, but he still didn't want Margarito to make a single cent with him because of what happened. Um, I don't know if that's the case at all with you guys, but that's why I bring that up. That I I have observed in the past things like that where there's such personal issues where they're like, no, we're never giving this guy a rematch because of so and so and so and so reasons.
Well, we listen. We do it for the people. We do it for the people, man. We do what the people call for. They're the ones that pay the bills, not the promoters. The networks. If the fans want to see a fight, then there's a network that wants to put it on. The days of the Oscar De La Hoya's saying what he wants and what's going to happen, are over with. I think he came on and he said that there is no need for a rematch or something like that. And I think he said that on the channel. But that's him, not listening to the people. That's him not, um, you know, creating fake narratives as if the people aren't calling for it. But one thing there's a general consensus is that we want to know what's really going on in boxing. We want to know who's really it. And the way to do it is that they would go in and they would do vital testing 365 days, and you know what I mean, and let the people know that he's a clean fighter. I think you saw me publicly go out and offer him an opportunity to enroll in VADA to prove that he's a clean fighter, right? And he chose not to.
So with the rematch, given that you do manage Devin, I would imagine you guys are going to want the VADA testing if there is a rematch. But what else would be different? I would imagine the weight would be different too, right?
The biggest thing is drug testing.
Mm.
That's the biggest stickler for us and with him. You know what I mean? I think that he's openly said that he was smoking weed. He's openly said that he was drinking. He's openly said that he was crazy, right? So if you're crazy enough to do it the first time, then you're crazy enough to do it the second time. That's the stickler. You know what I mean? That he enrolls in a program. I think he once said that he was going to go to rehab after he made some disparaging remarks, racial to say the least. And he went back on his word on that. So we just don't know what Ryan Garcia is going to do. And then when you have a guy like Oscar De La Hoya, no telling. You know what I mean? We don't know how deep the conspiracy runs.
Mm. Okay. Uh, Looking towards 2025, I know a lot of fans are wanting to see Devin back in the ring. We did an interview with Bob Arum, which he stated that there was a fight presented to you guys against Teofimo Lopez. It fell through. What is your
Well,
response
there
to
was a
Bob
fight.
Arum saying
Well,
that?
that was Bob. Like I said, when you have Devin uh, as a promoter, you have our team. We know how vindictive promoters can be, and we know how they can lie. Bob Arum was not 100% truthful in the sense of that Turkey Al Sheikh put a fight on the table for Devin and Teofimo Lopez and Riyadh season. I think that the fight with that Turkey put on the table was an opportunity where there wouldn't be any squalms or you know what I mean, any flack towards either team. It was a fair opportunity, for us to come to the table. We don't work for Bob. We're not handcuffed to Bob. Teofimo Lopez is. So to say that you put something on the table for us when you haven't sold a pay-per-view, you haven't sold out an arena, and then to say that you put something on the table where you would be the A side and we would be the B side was an insult. And I believe that they knew that it was an insult as to why he came out and he said it. But he left out the fact that they turned down the deal when Turkey Al Sheikh put it on the table.
So did the Turkey offer come before the separate top rank? There were two separate offers then.
No, no, absolutely.
No.
You know, the Turkey Al Sheikh came came first. I was talking to and negotiating with Top Rank's attorney. I don't know. I have it on Do Not Disturb, and it still comes on. Why is that?
Not sure, but continue, Bill.
Okay, and you know, Top Rank's attorney was extremely disappointed in the fact that it didn't work and didn't come through. He expressed that he was disappointed. You know what I mean? And I told him, listen, you know, we'll just have to wait and see, and see if Turkey puts something else on the table, and see if Teofimo Lopez changes his mind. Then all of a sudden, later on, as I would believe a publicity stunt, that they came with this BS,
Mm.
as if Teofimo Lopez and as if Top Rank had some rank in this. No, I didn't mind looking at them eye level and saying let's cut the best deal. But when you say that we're obligated, or that, you know what I mean, what we need to do, and we need to take something that's not a straight play. I mean, it didn't make sense, and I showed it to him. I said that I'm not stupid. Um, you know what I mean, and you know, I gave it no reply.
How long ago was the Turkey offer, and then how long ago was the top rank offer?
I think it was around uh it was before the first fight that Devin would have been on would have been in October. I believe that was one of the first fights. And then the fight with Teofimo Lopez would have been the first quarter of 2025.
Mm. Who was being eyed for that October return?
We didn't get that far. We didn't
Yeah.
get that far.
Okay. Okay. But that, Turkey had put that in place for it to happen with Riyadh season. Did you hear anything from Top Rank as to why that didn't happen? Like the Turkey,
Uh,
why did the Turkey deal fall through?
well,
Because I
I
would
mean,
imagine
they said
it's
that
good money. It
Teofimo,
was good money for both.
right. Well, they said that Teofimo wasn't interested.
Okay. Okay. Did they
Yeah.
say like what particular
But
reason?
but Top Rank was, according to the Top Rank attorney, they liked the deal that Teofimo didn't.
Oh, he didn't like the deal financially.
I don't know if he didn't like the
Yeah.
deal or he didn't like the fight. He just turned it down.
Okay. And then Top Rank sent you another one for this coming next year, and that's the one where you weren't too happy with the stipulations.
Well, it didn't make sense because Top Rank is not our promoter.
Mm.
Um, you know what I mean? And I feel that it's a mutual fight that the people want to see, and that's the fight that we want to give them. But Top Rank they have no rank. They hold no rank with us in terms of that. Teofimo Lopez has that ball and chain around his ankle. So he's publicly said that he hasn't made over $1 million. He's complained about Top Rank several times, right, Marcos? Has he not complained?
He said a few things here and there. Yeah, Teo has over the past year.
About him not being happy with Top Rank, correct?
He's alluded to things like that, but to be fair too, Teo says things also that you don't know where they're coming from either. To be
Right.
honest.
So exactly, and that's pretty much consistent with what he's saying right now. You know, he's not 100% always been there. I think Top Rank has come out and said that he doesn't make offers and he doesn't do this. But when it came to Bob Arum not being 100% right forthwith with saying that Turkey had put something on the table. Now I challenge, you know what I mean, the media, you know, to ask Bob, did Turkey put something on the table? Ask Turkey himself, did he put something on the table? Was he interested in the fight? You know what I mean? And then we go from there.
Man, I'm bummed that's one of the fights. If it's not Ryan and Devin rematch, I think one of the biggest ones outside of Gervonta is Devin and oh, whoa, hey, Devin. Oh man, no, Devin, get back here. No, you're on camera. We got to get you on here.
Good to see you.
Hey,
Keep saying hello.
no, Devin, how are you? You got to come back. How are you doing?
I'm about to go work out. I just was saying hello.
Yeah, when are you coming back? Can you tell us anything about a date or anything?
Soon.
Soon.
He says Happy New Year. He says
Yes,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to Devin as well. Unexpected, but good to see him. Feel free to come back on here, Devin, if you want. Hey, okay.
Sure. He says for sure.
Awesome. And the invite's always open to Devin as well to get on here when the time is right for him. So then, Bill, with that being said, is there, you guys are in a position where you guys are your own bosses, more or less. I don't want to say, free agents, right?
No. Listen, no. We are. Devin is the boss, right?
Okay.
I'm so happy to have a job that every day I can do my best to work for my son, right? And you know, you as you see him right there, he's happy, right? He's enjoying life. You know what I mean? But we went and we involved Top Rank, right? We involved Top Rank, and everyone says, well, going to Australia is the right thing to do. You have to do that. You have to go over there. Then you have to go over there once. You have to go over there twice. Then they said, well, you have to involve Lomachenko. You beat Lomachenko, and then you write your own check, right? So we did that, right? We our profile. We got in a fight with Ryan Garcia. We delivered to the people what they said was something that Tank did, right? Or something that you want to do is you want to be able to bring and make this big fight happen. Well, we're tired of the excuses about the numbers. You don't know the numbers and you don't, you need this threshold, you need this to be made. No, we need to do it straight across the board. Top Rank doesn't have a network. They're promoters, just like Devin. So to say that you're going to put something on the table or you're going to do that, that's all bullshit, Marcos. That's bullshit. And hopefully for the fighters that come behind us, they'll be able to be what Eddie Hearn has described, the bosses. They're the talent. The promoters are the middlemen. They're supposed to promote. They're supposed to bring awareness and bring attention. They're not supposed to say, my fighter, my fighter can't do this, my fighter can't do that. No, the fighter is supposed to be able to do what the fighter wants to do. He's supposed to be able to make the decisions and not the other way around. And hopefully this can be an end to all that rhetoric and all that BS. Devin, when I said that it was the Devin Haney era and a lot of things were going to he was going to bring a lot of light to a lot of issues. And I think that he has. Whether it had been the franchise, whether it had been traveling across different platforms, and now when you're being wronged, right, is you take the recourse that the same thing that the promoters always threaten about. They threaten about a lawsuit. I think you've seen where Oscar De La Hoya was upset about the fight in Japan, and he threatened to file a lawsuit. Well, wait a minute. If Ryan Garcia is the boss, right, and he's the talent, and he believes that he wants to have a fight in Timbuktu, well, why can't he have the fight? What do you mean that you're tied to him and he can't do what he wants to do? Those days are over with if you follow the Devin Haney blueprint. But if you're continue to act like you don't know what's going on and like you don't see what we've done, then you'll be forced to stay in the horse and buggy days. You'll be forced to that promoters continue to piss on top of your head and tell you that it's rain.
So with that being said, I don't know, is there gonna be or do you feel like there's could be issues with working with the other promoters? Because I know, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, I've seen that there have been offers for fights, and from what I've read, and this is the part where you could inform me and us, I've read that either the fights didn't make sense to you guys on a financial sense, not meeting the minimum purse for a fight, or there were other issues to
No, I
get
mean,
those fights.
well, that brings attention to the fact of that as fighters, no, not just Devin, but every fighter should be able to do what they want to do. It's not about the promoters and the promoters telling them what to do, right? Are we going to be able to have an opportunity because there's 3 or 4 promoters that are controlling the game when there's hundreds of fighters? It makes no sense at all. And to tell you the truth is that they're not getting any younger. Devin is the youngest of the bunch and the most accomplished. So they're running out of time. We're not.
Mm. Okay. In an ideal situation, Bill, how are you going to map this 2025 for Devin? How active would you like to see him? If you could have a list of opponents in an order, who would that be?
Well, listen, it's about the business. It's about the business. And it's enough of talking about all the other promoters and all that. Let's talk about new players that's in the game. Let's talk about the BLK primes of the world. Let's talk about the MVPs of the world. What a wonderful job they're doing. Jake Paul. And, let's talk about new blood, new people, new situations that can happen and bring boxing back to its glory days. Because what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a bunch of rhetoric. I'm seeing a bunch of promoters creating narratives where Turkey Al-Sheikh came to the game, and that was supposed to be over with. It was supposed to be that now fighters were the boss. Fighters were going to have stuff on the table, and we were going to be licensing out the talent of the fighter and giving the promoter their cut, whether it be 3%, whether it be 5%. But now you're talking about promoters controlling the pot, controlling the narrative. Come on, man. Those days are over with. With social media, guess what? They're relying on the fighters to do the promoting. They're relying on the fighters to use their social platforms. They don't have the days of yesteryear where you have only Ring Magazine or you have only HBO to do a 24/7 or Showtime, excuse me, to do a 24/7. You have platforms like Fight Hub TV and Marcos Viegas.
Oh, thank
You
you.
have listen, you have other platforms. You have other platforms. You have the LDBC, you have new media. You have a lot of opportunities to go where you want to go and tell your story. You don't necessarily just need one promoter, right? To say that he's in control and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. That's over with, Marcos.
Okay, you mentioned MVP and Jake. They did that huge viewership with the Mike Tyson fight. It kind of gets my wheels turning. Are you angling to have Devin fight on a Jake Paul card?
Listen, Jake over there and Nikisa over there are doing a heck of a job, right? And I'm saying is Desmond and Fight Hype, excuse me, Black BLK Prime is doing a heck of a job. Shout out to Fight Hype too, right? But these are some wonderful opportunities, man. The days where only one promoter is controlling everything or 2 or 3 promoters are controlling, they don't have the power anymore, right? It was before when you guys weren't around, right? When you guys weren't around, to get the exposure that you needed, you had to go to an ESPN, you had to go to an HBO, you had to go to a Showtime because the world wouldn't know who you are. And I mean, you see right now, we're all over the media. So what promoter is doing that? I mean, do we give the credit? Do we say that we need? And you see a lot of the social channels. We got a guy.
Oh no! Wait!
Hold on.
Let's not. I don't want to attack people in other platforms and all that.
I'm on here. I can do what I want to do.
Yeah, but
I'm going to tell you. Listen.
Wait, Bill. Hold on. Just on the MVP issue.
Wait,
Have you
hold on.
guys
Hold on, Marcos.
spoken to MVP
Marcos,
and Jake
wait a
and
minute.
Nikisa?
Marcos, see, now this is one thing that I'm telling you and I'm explaining to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We do what we want to do and we talk about who we want to talk about and we defend it the way that we want to defend it.
Yeah, but the fans
We
don't
don't
want to hear you like
I don't
grill
listen, you
these content
listen, no,
creators.
no, wait a minute. You can't tell me what the fans want to hear. How do you know? That's one group of fans. And
Yeah,
it's a
but
group and
they're
a
here
group.
on this platform wanting us to talk about what's going on with Devin, not like roasting these other
Listen.
guys.
No, listen. Well, when I come and I want every father and mother to know, of course, everybody wants to try to shoot shots, and they don't want us to shoot back. No, ours is fully loaded, and the Walmart managers of the world, that doesn't work.
Walmart.
You
I
you
saw
know
your
that
social.
Walmart
I know.
manager.
I
Yeah,
know
you know
what you're
that
referring.
Walmart
I
manager.
saw
Yeah,
your
you know that
your.
Walmart
I,
manager.
I saw
Yeah,
the social post, but
I've been looking for him. I've been looking for him.
going back, has there been any discussions, any communications with MVP? Like, it just makes me think, like, why would you mention MVP if you guys aren't
Because
thinking
I
about that?
want to listen, because that's what it's about. It's about bringing attention to not only other platforms, other YouTube platforms. You're a big guy. You're a big guy. And when I told you, when I put on there, I said on Twitter, I said, hey, all the new guys, right? I said, all the new guys, let's cook in 2024, right? I said, come on, let's get it booming. And what did you do? You hit me, right?
Yeah,
And what did I tell you?
you called me.
And I called you, and what did I say?
You
I
said
said,
that that was for the little guys, but we could always do stuff with you.
yeah, I said that. I said that was for the guys that need a shot. I can
Mm.
always call you, Marcos, but sometimes, like I said, the content creators, the new content creators, the new platforms, whether it be MVP, whether it be BLK Prime, they deserve an opportunity too. This is not about freezing everyone out because guess what, Marcos? I remember those days. I remember those days when they were running narratives and freezing us out. So now that we're at the top of the game, we're willing to work with everybody. We've worked with Golden Boy. We've worked with Top Rank. We've worked with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. So why wouldn't we work with BLK Prime? Why wouldn't we work with MVP Promotions? Why not, Marcos?
Okay, okay, yeah. That was what I was getting to with the question. Was based on that, like, is it going to be difficult to secure fights or opponents because of these issues with the other promoters? But you're saying no, it's
Listen,
not.
listen, let me tell you. Okay, okay. Listen, when you talk about bringing the hardcore boxing fans, being the youngest undisputed champion, there's not a hardcore boxing fan that doesn't know who Devin the Dream Haney is. Correct?
Yeah.
Right. So when you talk about is it an opportunity for him to fight? He's all over all the social blogs. He's all over everyone. He's for all intent purposes booming in boxing and out of boxing. So giving an opportunity to a fighter that's not. An opportunity for a fighter that's not necessarily known amongst the hardcores, that's not necessarily known in hip hop, so to speak, right? That's Devin. Now, if the fighter wants to listen to the promoter and say, "Well, I'm not going to take advantage of that opportunity to fight him," well, then don't worry about it. Stay where you're at. But we're into this. We're into pushing boxing forward. And at 26 years old, Devin the Dream Haney can do it.
All right, Bill. With that said, like I had mentioned, this year for sure, 2025, we will see Devin back in the ring. By when you feel?
Uh, I'd give the timeline, a year to the date, maybe. You know what I mean? Like
So by April.
by April, yeah,
By
by
April.
April he'll be back in there. He'll be back in the ring.
Okay, so right now he's what, like pre-camp, right? He's back in the
Yes,
gym working.
yes. Because one thing as a trainer and a manager, I consider myself. I've studied the greats. I've been around the greats. I've been around the Rogers. I've been around the Floyd Mayweather seniors, Eddie Mustafa's of the world. I pride myself on studying the boxing game. It's a guy by the name of Ray Arcel out of Harlem, New York. You know what I mean? Who was a brilliant boxing mind. You know, he had Roberto Duran, he had Ezra Charles, Larry Holmes, who never boxed a day of his life, whether it be amateur or pros. But he was astute. He was a brainiac as far as this boxing. I won't put Devin in or negotiate anything unless he's in the ring doing what he's supposed to do. And we're at that point right now where we're going to do some sparring here this week. You know, get a real good look at him, and then I'll start to you know, to decide and pick where we're going. But the landscape, you know, the landscape is thick, and the opportunities are around the corner. Unlike some of your co-content creators that want to run a narrative as if we're not in boxing. We're more boxing than they believe.
140 is stacked right now, but I also think of, you know, these guys eventually will move up to 147. Is a move to 147 at all in the plans for Devin this year?
We don't know. We don't know. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to say one way or another. You know what I mean? I do want to say that he's going to be back and he's going to put on a heck of a performance. It's going to be, you're going to see a different Devin Haney in the ring for sure.
All right, man. Yeah, that's what fans want to hear. That's what they've been waiting to hear. When there's a return, I know you guys are looking towards potential opponents as well, but hopefully by April we will see him back in the ring, and then those big fights and rematches with him and Ryan, him and Teo, and him and the other people at 140
Marcos,
pounds.
that was what you were supposed to tell Oscar De La Hoya when he was in front of you and he had all that rhetoric about.
Well, no, I asked him he said that the rematch does make sense financially, that him personally, because of what happened. But I think the rematch is the biggest that can be made in boxing right now. That's the biggest fight that you could potentially make in boxing, is that rematch, just because of everything that happened and the build up to it. Like it's a natural story there.
Absolutely. And for him to say anything else is rhetoric. It's rhetoric that we need to push out of boxing. What we need to do is to make this sport a clean sport, right? And give the people the power. Put the power back in the people to make the fights happen, and not the promoters that are controlling the narratives.
All right. Hey, is Devin still around? Does he want to say one last thing before we go?
No, he's already went to work. He's already going to work out.
Already at the gym. Okay,
Listen,
okay.
and that's the thing is that one more thing is that me and him work as one, right? I'm saying and conveying to the people his sentiments, right? I catch a lot of flack for doing it, right? But I accept that, right? I accept that. And I encourage other mothers and other fathers to take an active role, to not run from the trolls, right? To show up and show down and believe in their kids. Find the talent. Say, listen, the talent is at home. The stars are at home and not on television.
Good stuff, Bill. Good. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate the time. Thank you. I look forward to your guys' return in 2025, and nothing but positivity to you and Devin this coming year. I hope you guys are able to achieve your goals both professionally and personally. Thank you for the time, Bill. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let's have fun. Let's have fun with this boxing, and no matter what, the fans deserve to do what they do. If they like Devin, they like him, and we love it. If they hate him, then we love that too. It's all part of it. I love the fact that they take our time to give him any kind of energy. But Marcos, they want me to give them the energy back.
Hey, do you, bro? Do you go after them if you want? You know?
No. I don't go after anyone. Like I said, I just give them back what they want. It's all sports and entertainment at the end of the day.
Good stuff. That is Bill Haney. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That was Bill speaking to us live. projected return of Devin Haney coming up in April. And thank you to Devin for popping in for briefly in this interview. Man, that's a wrap. That is the last interview that I will be doing for 2025. Okay, a lot to just kind of decompress in that chat with Bill. It's hard to multitask with the comments that are coming down on here and then really be focused on what Bill's telling me, so I know like what to respond with and what to counteract with. But the biggest takeaways is that lawsuit doesn't seem to be or won't be a factor in the rematch from what I took from Bill. Same with the chat that I had with Oscar. Bill's looking for Devin to return to the ring in April. He clarified what happened with that proposed Teofimo Lopez fight, mentioning that Turki Al-Sheikh had put a deal in place for Devin to fight Teo coming up in 2025, with Devin returning in October. For Top Rank was on board with it, according to Bill, but for some reason or another, Teo wasn't happy with the thing or something in that contract, that offer for that fight. Time passes and Top Rank offers another deal to make a Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney fight. Bill is not happy with some of the stipulations on that fight. I got the sense that he felt it wasn't 50-50 enough in terms of who's the A side, who's the B side. He felt that it was too anchored towards Teo as being the A side. He listed his reasons as to why is that, and he didn't respond to that offer for that. Devin incorporating Nate Jones, who worked with Floyd Mayweather for a long time in his corner as one of his cornermen. Floyd being trained by Roger, but Nate Jones also helping as one in the corner. Brought him in to help with Devin's defense with blocking the left hook, as I mentioned, and other things as well. So good chat with Bill as well. Overall, had some issues in the beginning in terms of internet, so I'm glad we went ahead and fixed those to give you guys that chat. So I'll stay around for a little bit longer to speak to you guys, to interact before we go ahead and close this interview out. Go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you're watching us for the first time. I'm getting a text here. Hold on a second. Let's see what this is about. It's due to the interview that I just did. Okay. Desmond from BLK Prime, what's up? Thank you for that. I appreciate BLK Prime has some big announcements coming up for the next year. So be on the look. Hey, man, that's good. Boxing is very robust right now. Then if you're having all these other entities going in and putting on fights, like at the end of the day, we need competition in the boxing space. I know it sounds good for it to be consolidated, and I get it. I understand, because we want to see the fights happen. Where's this boxing hacker? I'll get to that right now. But less competition, it's never a good thing. Competition brings the best out of us. And if boxing is consolidated, it has me a bit worried in terms of what happens in the future. Great stream. You forgot the super chats though. Hey, I'm sorry about that, boxing hacker. I was focused on Bill. It's hard for me to read the comments, be able to read it, and not be able to focus and listening in on what he's saying, and I could potentially miss something. So I apologize about not getting to some of the super chats. Some of them kind of odd super chats, but like Southpaw, respect to Marcos for not letting false narrative. Just a minute. He said he would work for everybody, with everybody. That's what he said. But they're in control now. Like you mentioned, they're free agents. They're their own promoters. They're their own boss. COE Films, awesome interview. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sorry I'm getting to these so late. Like I mentioned, I was focusing on listening to what Bill was saying and focusing on that, it's hard to juggle this sort of stuff. 2 Cents Boxing, appreciate the shout out. Court, are we sure Devin Haney is better than Pitbull Cruz? I would imagine that Bill and Devin would say they are. I would imagine Pitbull would say he is. That's a great. I would love to see a Pitbull versus Devin Haney fight, but we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. You know, we saw Pitbull Cruz. He has a fight with Angel Fierro. We saw him on a Riyadh season card with Jose Valenzuela. We'll see what happens, how that shakes out for 2025. You know, I'm hearing that opponent Fierro for Pitbull is a tough opponent for him, but it's an opponent that he's supposed to look good against. I'm not sure what Rayo is going to do. I thought there was I guess they went against the rematch clause. Excuse me. Pitbull and Rayo. Okay, here we go. Boxing hacker. Salute to brother Trill Bill and Devin Haney Promotions. Devin mentioned promoter issue stopped him from fighting in 2024. Can you go into those issues? Is it resolved? I think we touched on that issue, my man. Let's see here. Let's see. Why not have Dev get Teo and make him eat those words? Huge fight, in my opinion. Yeah, we touched on that. As to why, I know I'd want to get a response. Actually, you know, I wish I had more time with Turkey to ask him about that offer that he offered Devin against Teofimo. You know, I had a chance to speak to him briefly. I couldn't get the questions that I wanted to get with Turkey to him. It was at the Ring Magazine Gala event, and just I asked if I can get him. His team said right now is the best time to get him. You just got to go up and tell him to do an interview. So I just beelined it with my cameraman and just said, "Hey, Turkey, can you speak with us over at Fight Hub?" He nodded and said yes, but he was on his way out, so I only got like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But you know, I wanted to ask him more. So the invitation's out there for you, Mr. Al Sheikh, to whenever you want to do an interview, to call in and speak with us, speak with the fans about some of these fights, some of your goals for 2025, and just overall, you know, interact with us over here on Fight Hub and chat with us and the fan base over here. So open invitation always for Mr. Al Sheikh. Woo! It's been a big, a good, a busy 2024. That's for sure. We have awards coming up. Jay, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to try to pop the link right now in the chat. We have awards for you guys to go ahead and participate in the Fighter Awards. Let me find the link so you guys can vote. Voting is going to close tomorrow, but you know, we'll do a live on it. You know, obviously you guys will be voting, and these awards are voting for like Fight of the Year, Female Fighter of the Year, Female Fight of the Year. Let me go find the link right now and drop it in the chat for you guys. But keep the questions coming, keep the comments coming. I'm here for a little bit longer with you guys while I find this link. Where is the link for the Fighter Awards for you guys to participate? Eventually, I'd like to turn this into like a big thing where we give out actual awards and we can have the people on us live that have won the awards, but we need you guys to really pump this up as well. Hey, Yair, if you're listening, send me the link, please, to the awards. I'm having trouble finding the link that you sent for all you guys to participate in the year-end awards for us, where we have, you guys can vote on Fighter of the Year, and all that. Where is this link? Where is this? Hold on a second, guys. I apologize. I mean, where's links? Links. There we go. Okay. I think I found it. I got to send it to myself. But unless you have it, Jay, you want to drop it in here on the chat for us. Links. No, I cannot find. Shoot. Oh, it's in the group chat. That's why. Okay. 1 second, guys. Let me find this group chat to send you guys the link. Jeez. You know what really sucks is Apple decided to change a lot of features in their iOS. One in particular, the photo feature, which is just freaking terrible now compared to what it was. Not user friendly whatsoever. It's freaking. It annoys the f out of me. That new interface that they have. There's the link. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna copy it and email it to myself, and then drop it in the chat for you guys so you could participate in these year-end awards that we got going on. We had been tweeting about it and also spreading it on the IG as well. Awards link. Email it to myself, Marcos. But I'll drop it in the chat right now for you guys. Okay, boom. Let's see here. Award link dropping right now for you guys. Boom. Boom, right there. Dropped. There you go. So let me know if that link is working for you guys to vote on the year-end awards. Here's some of the categories we have. We have Fighter of the Year. And on Fighter of the Year, we have 5 choices. Inoue, Usyk, Beterbiev, Canelo, and Bam Rodriguez. We'll do a show probably next week once the year is done with officially, and we'll announce what you guys voted on. Upset of the Year, Munguia versus Sarase, Dubois versus Joshua, Murtazalev versus Tim Zhu. KO of the Year, Lucas Body, Ashton Silva, Gervonta versus Frank Martin, Dubois versus Anthony Joshua, Oles Iglesias versus Shevchenko, Joshua KO Ngannou or Angelo Leo over Bernardo Lopez. Trainer of the Year, Robert Garcia, Sergey Lampin, who's the trainer of Usyk, and Shingo Inoue, who's the trainer of Inoue. Female Fight of the Year, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano 2, Estrada versus Yoko Valle, and Gabriela Fundora, Sweet Poison against Celeste Alaniz. Female Fighter of the Year choices, Clarissa Shield, Gabrielle Fundora, Katie Taylor, Sinisa Estrada. Fight of the Year, Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Zhu, Sergey Bohachuk versus Virgil Ortiz Jr., Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk, Archer Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. Event of the Year, 5v5, Queensberry versus Matchroom, Tank versus Frank Martin, which was the 100th fight at the MGM Grand. Beterbiev versus Bivol, undisputed. Crawford versus Madrimov in LA, that huge card that had Eminem on it. Fury versus Usyk 1, heavyweight undisputed. And Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson in Texas at Jerry World. And to round off that award thing that we have going on, Prospect of the Year, Xander Zayas, Abdullah Mason, and Moses Aitama, which Moses left a big impression on me when he got that knockout last week in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Raul, salute to you as well. Big ups to that. So I dropped the link chat in there. Let's go ahead and fill out that link. There it is. If you want to copy and paste. I'm not sure why it didn't come up as an actual link. Hold on a second. Let me manually pop it in again for you guys so it comes up as a link. Let me know if you guys are having trouble getting it. It's a little tough multitasking all this stuff with you guys, to be honest. Hold on a second. Let me pull up the chat. There it is. Okay, it got pinned. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay, for that. So it's on the pin right now. So go ahead and participate in the Fight Up TV year-end awards for that. All right, let's get to some of your comments, some of your questions. Go ahead and super chat as well. Southpaw, bro, you're going in, but praise Jesus. Going in on Bill. What'd you guys make of the interview? Was there something in particular that I missed that you guys wanted me to go and chat with Bill? I felt the most important. The interview was impromptu. Like Bill called me on, I believe, Saturday or Friday. Couldn't do it Sunday because I had some family things I had to take care of, and then we went ahead and did the interview. But boxing paradigm shift. Great interview as usual. Oh wait, Bill's back on? Wait a second. Bill, you're back on?
Man, South Sucker
Oh
TV.
no. Let's
No,
not
no,
do
no,
like
no.
that.
Listen.
Ah,
No. But listen, Marcos.
yeah.
No, Marcos. That's what you have to let the dads and the moms empower them. Give them the platforms to listen. Marcos Villegas and Bill Haney. What is Southpaw Sucker's name?
I don't know. I've heard of Southpaw.
What is his name? What is his
Hold
real
on,
name?
I've gotten messages from him before,
What is
which
his real name?
I have no idea. Like I honestly don't know
Okay,
too much about him. I know he just
no,
goes at people.
but
He's in the chat. He's always
I know,
dropped
but
good comments on the chat.
no,
But like
no, no,
I
no.
don't know him
There's
personally.
there's no good comments when guys hide behind pseudonames.
Mm.
You have boxing 24 News who has 10 different writers and they're all not real people. So what they do is they juggle. And the one thing that I respect Marcos Villegas, right? Who comes on here with his real name. Go check it out. It's Bill Haney. Go check it out, right? You have guys that use their real names, and then you have guys that if you go check their name out, it's probably a whole list and a whole rap sheet of bullshit. So if you can't stand it, right, or if you can stand it, then he's in the chat. Ask him what his real name is.
Hey, Southpaw, if you're in the chat, Bill wants your real name.
What's your real name?
Hey,
Let's see.
Bill, people troll. Like they get
No,
it.
no, but I'm rolling and they
Yeah.
trolling. I'm Bill Haney. Nice to meet you. You did? Yeah, I can stand the check. Now, did he put his real name in there?
Not yet. I don't even know if he's on here. I don't know if that's the
Oh, of
real
course he's
him.
going. Oh, of course he's going to disappear because he's South Sucker TV.
Mm.
It's not Southpaw, it's South Sucker. You dig? And guess what? And shout out to his fans that come around. But you see our chin up, chest out, doing it, operating on under our reel. You know what I mean? And it must be a shame when you have to sit and you have to do memes. And can you imagine your wife looking over your shoulder and you're doing a Diddy meme?
Mm.
That's crazy. You would never do that, Marcos.
No,
You would
I
never
wouldn't.
let your kids or your wife see that you're actually doing an AI meme. See, these guys have this kind of dysfunction and this delirious stuff on their brains. You know what I
Why?
mean?
Like, okay, so my question to you then, Bill, like, like part of it is to get a rise out of you or out of people. Like, people have trolled
I don't.
me.
I'm not
Have
looking.
gone.
Yeah, I'm not looking to get no rise out of
Yeah,
anyone.
yeah.
Listen. I look to kick this game. You know what I mean, and go back and forth. I'm not looking
Oh,
to get a
I thought
rise.
you were gonna say I look to kick his ass. I'm like, no, Bill, no,
No,
no.
no, 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 no. I'd waste a good pair of shoes with my foot in his ass. You did? I'd waste a good pair of shoes. But one thing that I'm saying is, for people that follow other people and you don't know who you follow, he can't be him. He has to because he's not a real person.
Hmm.
He's not a real person. And he's
I've
talking.
never met the guy. I've never.
No, but what I'm saying is now he'll disappear. He won't say what his real name. Did you see his real name in the chat?
So there's two people with that handle in the chat, and I don't know if it's the real him. If not,
Well,
I don't
listen.
know who's who.
Well, guess what? Neither one of them are going to give a real name.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Neither one of them going to, and nor is the Walmart manager.
Hey, what's wrong with being a Walmart manager? They make good money, don't they?
No, but what I'm saying is you have to stay focused on aisle number 6. You have to stay focused on aisle number 3. You cannot come in and challenge anyone that's in the boxing space. You can ask questions. And that's what you do a good job at. You ask the questions that the people want to see. You don't criticize in ways that make no sense. You're not making boxing memes and you're not doing none of that. So I will always come on and support the channel. But
Thank you.
I'll jump back in the chat. But he's not a real person, though. You can't. No. What you have to do in 2025, if they're not real and they're real trolls, Marcos, you can't give them credit. Not in no big boy time.
Hmm.
Not when, you know what I mean? It was a time when, there was Howard Cosell. You know what I mean? There's, you know the name of the person. You have Larry Merchant doing it, and Marcos Villegas showed up under his real name and not those other guys. We got to let the trolls stay in their place. Don't give them a platform unless they're going to come on and say really who they are.
Oh, it happens on Twitter too. You get these random responses from people, but I just ignore them, to be honest. Like, like
Huh?
I'm not gonna like. I don't know. It used to get to me when I first started out, because I'll admit, like, when I first started out, obviously with anybody in any sort of craft, you're not that good, So the comments would get to me because there was a sprinkle of truth. I took it as constructive criticism. Some of this stuff, like, hey, I know he's right. I do stutter, or I do this, or I do that. But the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, I ignore all the negative.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you're ignoring the negative, then don't shine a light and say that this guy, right? He's under a pseudo, right? Under an alias, right? You know what I mean? He done jumped out a tree somewhere in his lifetime, and I guarantee you that he's a tree jumper. Marcos, come on now, he's a tree jumper.
I don't know what that
Listen,
means, Bill. I don't want to know what that means.
Guaranteed. If you see him late on a late night, you're going to cross the street. You will not walk past him. He looks like someone that's a tree jumper. That's what he does look like.
I don't know. I've heard he kind of reminds people of Charlie Z. Do you remember Charlie Z?
I remember he reminds me of a person that jumps out of trees. I was in there. Listen, when I was locked up, it was guys like him. They used to do the Thorazine shuffle. They would just be walking like that. That's what he reminds me of. And shout out to the Boxing YTBC that has given opportunity to guys like the tree jumper, like the Walmart manager. Listen, I'm telling you. Listen, it's a bunch of kooks, and I will continue to serve them with everything in my power. You dig? Thank you for bringing me on here. And as you see, we're living good, baby.
All right, Bill. Thank you for jumping back on with us.
Peace.
Take it easy, my man. Oh man, was not expecting that, but let's go. We've been on live for a very long time. All right, you guys, let's wrap this up. Good chatting with Bill. Thank you, Devin, for popping in with us as well. Appreciate the time. Devin, would love to have you on here also when the time is right to go ahead and just speak about how you've been and how you see this next year coming up. Myself and the fans have a ton of questions for you. So, Devin, whenever you are ready, the invite is open for you guys. Okay, you guys, the last live stream of 2024. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Let me leave you with this for 2025, because I try to be a goal-oriented person. Sometimes it's hard to juggle everything. And I know sometimes people with putting their goals, they put too many. So I would say do this for you guys that want to achieve something and want to do something for 2025, whether it be big or small. Write down the goal, and then the devil's in the details. It's the little things that you have to do that lead up to that goal. So for instance, say you want to run a marathon. Okay. You want to run marathons, 24 miles. Make little goals leading up to you being able to do 24 miles. Run 3 miles, run 6 miles, run 9 miles, and give yourself a respectable timetable to go ahead and achieve those goals. The devil's in the details. You start little and you achieve those little goals, and eventually you go ahead and you reach the big goal. So I wish to you guys nothing but health and happiness in this coming 2025. I hope you guys are able to achieve your personal and financial goals. And I will see you guys in 2025. Make this last 2 days of 2024 good ones for yourself. Appreciate the time. As always, thank you guys. Marcos Villegas signing out for 2024. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you.